welcome to my workshop. You are watching Casual DIY channel. In today's video I've got a simple project for you guys. I'm going to be making some sort of a shelf that will attach onto the side of my daughter's bed. It will house some of her toys, maybe something to drink overnight as well. You can easily take it off, put it on, and I'm hoping that the design itself will inspire you to do something similar for your kids if they've got a similar bed, or maybe tweak the design a little bit so it will fit your needs. So for the bottom I found a strange offcut of plywood. I'm going to be using, I believe that's 4 or 5 millimeters in thickness, and I've got some pine boards. So first of all, let's cut them to the right size. And for that, I'm going to be using my miter saw. The sides needs to be 24 centimeters long. And the front and the back, that will be at 28 centimeters. And now with my table saw, I'm going to cut the boards to the correct width. The sides will be at 14 centimeters. And the front and the back, they need to be at 6 centimeters. The sides of this shelf or tray or whatever you want to call this need to have a cutout that will allow the whole thing to sit on my daughter's bed in a nice and stable way. On top of it, I made a bit of a feature there, rounded edge on one side, and we'll see how it all goes. But yeah, made some squiggles on this. I'm going to cut this out on my bandsaw now. And later on, I'm going to copy this to the second side. Now with a rasp and a sander, I'm just going to refine the shape of this one side. And now I can trace this shape on the second side. And again, I'm going to be using my bandsaw to cut out the shape. Now with a double-sided tape, I'm going to connect both of the pieces. The first original side will be on the top, and I'm going to be using a tracing bit on my router to trace out the shape of that side. As I still have both pieces together, I'm just going to round over some of the corners with my sander. So basically the whole thing is a little bit safer and nicer to the touch. On the router table with a straight bit, I'm going to cut a recess to accommodate the plywood that will go more or less inside. It's just the best way of doing it. It will give greater stability to the whole shelf. For the sides, I have set up some stop blocks to make sure I'm not going to go through the whole length. However, the front and the back, they will go totally through. Now, I wonder if you actually noticed what I did wrong just a few seconds ago when I was cutting the sides. Well, I've put the groove in the wrong place, because obviously it will go like this, and I've put the groove on the top. So I made another one at the bottom. If you are making any projects, always think twice before you do the setup and before you do the cut. For me, now the grooves will be a feature of this shelf. But hey, let's carry on. And now it's time to cut out the plywood bottom for our shelf. Now it's time for a bit of sanding. I'm going to go through grid 80 to 120 and then 150. That should be fine for this project. Okay, now it's time to put everything together, and for this I'm just going to be using wood glue and some brad nails. Just make sure everything aligns correctly. Check if everything's nice and square. And now I'm just gonna add a couple of clamps. Okay, I'm gonna leave this to dry. With the glue dried up, I've used a bit of sandpaper just on the corners to ease the corners, and now I'm gonna add a bit of varnish to it to give it a nice seal and protection. And there we go, guys, the varnish is ready, and our shelf attachment to the bed, it's now ready. I think it came out really nicely. Simple little project, and that's why I love woodworking. You can make something that you need, something unique that fits your needs. Talking about fitting, let's have a look if this actually fits. Let's jump into my daughter's bedroom. And here we are, my daughter's bedroom. That's the bed I've actually made for her. And recently, a few weeks ago, I actually made the drawer as well. So if you want to check those videos out, I'm going to leave a link down below in the description of this one. But let's have a look if it actually fits. Perfect fit, guys. Now my daughter actually asked me for something where she could put her drink on or a night lamp. So I think this will be a perfect addition to her bed. But you can think outside of the box if you've got a similar bed for your kids and they need something instead of a side table, something that you can take off if you don't need it, if it's taking too much space, or just put it in any place you want on the bed. Now I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, drop me that like button down below and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. But don't go just yet. I've got some really cool playlists over here for you. Plenty of DIY projects, woodworking and everything in between. Check those out and hopefully I'll see you on one of my videos there. Take care.